Michelle Richburg is a seasoned financial strategist, speaker, and CEO of Richburg Enterprises, a boutique business management and financial services firm celebrating over a decade of servicing clients across music, entertainment, and sports industries. Widely recognized as the money mastermind behind some of the biggest names in music, she brings over 4 decades of unparalleled experience in the financial management and strategic planning into generational wealth building.
Thank you. Bitch, you got this, let's go. I talk to myself. You're making more money than ever. So why is your bank account still on life support? Let me ask you a question, couple. How much money did you make last year? Now let me ask you this. How much of it did you keep? How much of it is actually working for you right now? Here's the reality most of us don't want to face. We're not broke because we don't earn enough. We're broke because we're too busy performing wealth instead of building it. My grandmother, Dora, was a domestic worker. She raised me. She cleaned houses, took care of other people's children, and never made what most of you make in a month. But you know what she did? She bought 4 houses in cash, no loans, no credit, just discipline, structure, and a system. And she did it without the resources, the access, or the opportunities that we have right now. So what's the difference between her and us? Let me be clear. Income is not wealth. And if you can't tell the difference, you're already losing. I've spent 4 decades advising high earners, entertainers, athletes, business owners, and executives. Billboard has named me top business manager for 5 years in a row, 2020 to 2025. And I've seen the same pattern over and over again. Money coming in, but nothing being built. You're chasing the next income bump. You're buying things to look successful, and you're calling overspending lifestyle. You're convinced that more money is the answer. But here's what nobody's telling you. More money just means more ways to stay broke. Biggie said, more money, more problems. The problem isn't your income, the problem is your discipline, your structure, and your systems. You don't have a money problem, you have a management problem. And until you fix that, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you'll always be one emergency, one bad decision, one market shift away from panic. So what do we do about it? We go back to the principles that actually work. The old school wealth building strategies that turn domestic workers into property owners. The same principles that built generational wealth before we had access to all this information, all the opportunities, all the apps. And here's what my grandmother understood that we've forgotten. 5 principles. Wealth is what you keep, not what you make. Structure beats motivation every single time. Discipline is the difference between looking rich and being wealthy. Every dollar needs a job. Generational wealth starts with one generation deciding to stop the cycle. Stop measuring success by your income. Start measuring it by your net worth. How much are you actually keeping? How much is growing? How much is protected? Structure beats motivation every single time. I said that already. You can't budget your way to wealth on feelings. You need systems, automatic transfers, clear percentages, and non-negotiables. My grandmother didn't try to save. She had a system that made it impossible for her not to save. Discipline is the difference between looking rich and being wealthy. You want to know why you're stuck? Because you're spending money you haven't earned for people who don't give a damn. Cut the performance, build in private, wealth is quiet. Every dollar needs a job. My grandmother knew where every penny went because it had a purpose: savings, investment, bills, emergency fund. Nothing was random. Nothing was random and nothing was wasted. And when you do that consistently, a shift happens. So what I would like to help you do that. Sign up for my newsletter where I give practical, no-nonsense information. And you can download my free financial planner, The Rich Guide Financial Planner and Journal. Thank you.